Hey, everybody. Let's talk about being perfect. How many of you feel that you are a perfectionist? And maybe that works for you in your business, and maybe it doesn't. But today, that's what we're diving into. So stick around.
You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss-Ep.
All right, when it comes to perfectionism, there's so much here. There's so much to talk about. Being perfect, as we know, is a non-existent. There is no such thing as perfect. So when we strive to be perfect, we are striving for something that we cannot achieve, and therefore we are not able to reach the highest level because our highest level doesn't exist. So we can always get close, but we can never feel that success because perfect doesn't exist. There is no human being on this earth that is perfect. And all of us have flaws. All of us make decisions that maybe we shouldn't have. We make the wrong choices. Maybe we have some regrets. Maybe we have some mistakes in our life. Maybe you don't believe in mistakes. Maybe you believe that every failure had a lesson that was learned from it and that helped you grow and move into a different direction. And all of that could be true. Yet, you could still be struggling with being a perfectionist. I know because I'm a recovering perfectionist. I want everything to be perfect. OCD runs in my family, obsessive compulsive disorder. And so I want everything to be straight. I want everything to be perfect. I want everything to be even from the right side to the left side. And I've literally spent my however many adult years having OCD about not having OCD to try and subconsciously work my way out of this. So I think about doing the opposite of what my instinct is asking of me and what it wants me to do. So if I know that something on my desk is a little crooked and it's bothering me, I work my way out of that and say, nope, you know what? It's supposed to be crooked. And actually, if you look at my desk, I have a very messy desk. They say very creative people have very messy desks. So I go with that and let that work. But in my business, all the systems, the marketing systems that I have, the way that I onboard clients, the way that I hire new people onto my team, the way that I structure everything within my business, it's actually very, very disciplined, very structured. I try to be very effective. I try to be very efficient. And that comes from having this skill set. So what might be seen as a weakness in certain parts of my life are actually seen as a strength in other parts of my life. So yes, I love everything to be perfect. When I go into Canva and I design things, because I'm the designer on the team, I have a designer on the team for certain things, but when it comes to my lead magnets or big digital products that I'm putting out, I'm the designer on all of those things because of this perfection thing. I want to have my hands on it. I want to make sure everything is straight and even, and the fonts are exactly the size from one page to the next, and the logo's in the exact same place on each slide. This is my skill set. This is my strength, and it can be seen as a weakness. So when you get hung up on the perfection, what happens is you stop yourself from moving forward, and that can be detrimental to your business. So yes, in some things you want to have perfection. For example, when I'm calculating data about clients and how Facebook ads are running, or data about how my challenge group went and how many people were there versus how many people purchased and things like that. You do want to be perfect in those things because numbers are important. They tell a story. But if that's not your strength, you need to hire someone in to your team to do that. So you can have someone on the team who calculates data, and you don't want to have mistakes in your numbers. Sure. But again, we are all human. There have been people on my team who have made mistakes. It doesn't mean they get kicked out the door and they're gone. It means we discuss it and we see, was this a one-time fluke? Is it that you're a human, there's a human error? Or is this that you're careless? And those two things are very different, because if it's carelessness or not living up to expectations, then that's something completely different than being a human. So at first, be understanding. Be understanding that perfection doesn't exist, therefore you can't expect that to be the norm. You can't expect that to be the expectation. Now, when you are putting content out, when it comes to content, if you are holding back because it's not perfect, maybe you're not going live because your hair isn't amazing or your makeup isn't great or you're not sure what to say or the lighting isn't 100%, those are excuses. Those are things that are holding you back and keeping you from growing. So don't let perfect become the enemy of progress. And also, practice makes progress. Practice doesn't make perfect. Whoever came up with that saying did not know what they were talking about, because there is no such thing as perfect. But practice makes progress. So if you have a fear of going live for all of the reasons I discussed, or any of the other ones that I didn't mention, think to yourself, if I don't go live because I'm not perfect, I am not making any progress. But if I do go live, and maybe it sucks and maybe it's embarrassing and I can't believe I just did that the very first time, or maybe the first few times, every time you do it, you are going to be making progress. You're going to be getting better. Want to connect about all your marketing needs and have access to all my free resources? Connect with other health and life coaches, healers, and virtual assistants that support those types of businesses. Join the fun over at magneticmarketingmastermind.com. The same goes for sales calls. When you get on a call, a discovery call or a prospect call or a sales call, whatever, if you are scared to talk about your offer and you don't know how to word your packaging and you're not really sure of the flow of a sales call, then you stop yourself from getting on a sales call. What's going to happen? Oh, you don't get any sales. So you have to get on those calls, even though you're not perfect at them, so that you can make progress. And eventually you will get better and better and better. And eventually you will start closing sales. So just remember that. And I want you to really think on this when it comes to content creation. So I have a lead magnet. It's one of my most downloaded lead magnets. It's the Expert's Marketing Guide to Running Your Health and Life Coaching Business. And I have an error on there. It is downloaded hundreds of times. It's 20-something pages long. And I made it in Canva, where you create a new page every time you want to. And I created the new page by copying the previous page and then changing the content so that the whole layout looked the same. And then I went back and I changed all the page numbers, and I forgot to change the page numbers. So all the even numbers follow a format and all the odd numbers follow a format. So I copied page 3 to make it into page 5, and I never changed the page number. So I put this out there and it's not perfect. It goes page 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6. That's the order of the pages. Had I realized it then, I would have changed it. Had I realized after I put it out there that I had a mistake, I would have been kicking myself. Like, what are you doing? You don't know how to count? Why are you putting this out there? Right? And I would have been really hard on myself because of my perfectionism. You know when I realized that the page numbers were wrong? Over a year later, when I was teaching about this in my Marketing with Intention program, and we were going through all of my lead magnets, and I went through and I was like, oh my gosh, page 3 is twice. What? And I couldn't believe it. But this is a great example that you need to just get it out there. Done is better than perfect. You have great things to say. Your audience needs to hear them. You want to make an impact. Your audience wants your help. If you're holding back information because you aren't perfect, you are doing a disservice to them. It is better to be effective than it is to be perfect. So if your videos aren't amazing, okay, so what? Get them out there. As you grow and scale your business and you make more money, you want to invest back into your business, invest in some good lighting, invest in better sound, get your video quality up. You know, my very first course in the Social Marketing Academy, I recorded the audio of the slides. I have a slide deck and my audio is behind it. I recorded that on an iPhone 4 sitting in my car because I don't have a soundproof studio, or I didn't have a soundproof studio then. I closed the door to my car, shut off the air condition. Mind you, I live in Atlanta. It was the summertime and it was sweltering heat, so probably not safe. Recording on a voice memo on my iPhone 4. And then I'd put slide deck behind them. That's how I did my course. But you know what? I put that first course out, and what happened? The next course came, and the next course came, and eventually I have a membership site, my Social Marketing Academy, that runs on its own. It opens up a few times a year with several courses in there. And that first course has amazing content in it. Does it sound amazing? No. Does the information get out effectively? Yes. Do the slides look great? Yes. Does it have 5-star reviews? Yes. Are there over 250 people who have taken that course? Yes. There are almost 1,000 people who have taken that course. And it was recorded on my iPhone 4. Now I have a Blue Yeti mic. It's what I use for my podcasts. You'll hear in my podcast episodes, some of them sound like this, and I'm actually not in my soundproof studio right now, so this might sound a little bit weird. Some sound like the way it does now, but maybe a little bit clearer in my soundproof studio. And some, I just take the audio and I extract it from a Facebook Live that I've done recently. So the audio sounds different there as well. The point is, it doesn't matter. Yes, it's important to have great lighting and great sound because people will tune in more. But when you're starting out, start with what you have and do what you have to do to get that information out. You do not need to be perfect. And as you grow, you can enhance things along the way. So I recently pulled out some of that information from that first course that I did. I remastered it and I did it differently for a different program that I'm offering. And I used my Blue Yeti mic and I was like, wow, what a difference. This is a million times better. But I didn't let it stop me. And if I had to wait till I had my Blue Yeti mic, my Social Marketing Academy wouldn't be where it is today at all. So progress, not perfection, is what we are striving for. And I really hope that this helps you because a lot of us want to put out great stuff. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. It should look good. It should look professional. You could do it yourself. You can get someone else to help you and delegate that out, maybe a virtual assistant, someone who can help you, or a graphic designer, or someone who can help edit your audios or whatever you need. But start with what you have, and as you grow, enhance it, perfect it, get it better. But there is no reason to hold back all that great stuff that you can put out into the world, your passion, your purpose, to make that impact, to solve people's problems, because you are struggling internally with your perfection. All right, I will talk to you next time. Do you struggle with posting content on social media? Is it difficult to show up consistently? Or maybe you're overwhelmed by what to post where? That's why I created my complete content strategy toolkit, a comprehensive digital toolkit to efficiently and consistently create meaningful content that converts. My toolkit is packed with over $3,000 worth of tools, and the best part, I'm offering it all for the price of one dinner. Go check it out now at abundantstrategy.com.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Hey, coaches and healers, it's time to feel supported in your business. Head on over to our free community to get access to my best resources for free. I'm talking marketing tips, business strategy, feedback, and so much more. Join now at magneticmarketingmastermind.com. See you there.